Yeah, it's your boy Fist in his house for another great edition of Titanfall from me to you, because that's what I do. 9 days away, counting down on your calendar to what could be the Call of Duty killer on the Xbox consoles alone. I would have to say that it's pretty much most likely going to be the best-selling game on the Xbox One. I believe it has the fluidity of the Call of Duty series of better. You know, we went around in circles talking about this. I mean, we saw Hip Hop Gamer, we saw this dude from Paris, Gamer Radio. I mean, there's tons of people that were talking about whether gaming or graphics or what was the thing, what kept you enthralled into a game. You know, what brought you back keeps bringing you back. You know, a lot of people say, hey, $60 for a Call of Duty game is a ripoff. But you think about it, how many times do you turn on your Xbox or your PlayStation and you go and play Call of Duty? Every single day. I mean, you take $60 and you divide it about how many times you've played that game. I mean, you think about it back, you go back to like the 1990s or the early 90s or the late 90s when you had to go into an arcade and put in 50 cents or $1 to play a video game, and think about how much value and entertainment you're getting for $60. I think it's a very fair price. Now, when Titanfall comes out, obviously it's only coming out for one console. Understandable. But, you know, given the track record of, you know, some of these game publishers, just be thankful that it's coming out for just one of these consoles. I'm just glad that it has the steam, the hype, the greatness of people getting excited about a new game. You know, we are mad at Call of Duty. Understandable. We get it. You know, you're tired of this game. You're going to latch on the very first game that comes along that's halfway decent. And I believe that because this game has the fluidity and the freedom that everybody's talking about, you know, you're looking at this game and you compare it to a lot of other games out there like Warframe, Blacklight Retribution, Battlefield, Call of Duty. All of these, I mean, you just can, the list is endless. I wouldn't say Warframe because it's not a first-person shooter, but you can name endless amounts of first-person shooters. And how many games out there can pull off what Call of Duty can pull off? Every other game that's a first-person shooter it's a learning experience. You have to learn it, and then you get down into it. You either condition yourself to like the shitty parts about the game, or you recognize how bad the game is and how much you don't want to put up with it, and so you leave. I mean, there's a threshold, and the easier that you make the threshold, the more it becomes a next-gen experience. And the more that it becomes a next-gen experience, the more fun it equals, and the more that you will play it and like it. Whereas graphics and trying new ideas, I mean, this whole thing about having us keep playing games that are just, I mean, I forgot what studio it was, the guys who made BioShock. The first words out of his mouth were, we're going to make a smaller studio, we're going to shut down our studio, and we're going to go to the public to make our games. You know, you have beta testers at Activision or Call of Duty or whatever. They don't beta test whether they like the game or not. They get paid to test out the bugs and the glitches and the little spots where you can jump in and hide and go underneath the map. That's what a beta tester is. You're testing out the functionality of the map. That's what you're testing. You're not testing whether it is going to be a great consumer product or these combinations of weapons are overpowered over these, this, that, and the other thing. They don't test the likelihood of the next-gen gaming experience. So when you have a developer say, I'm going to close down my studio and go for the next gamer generation experience, yes, that's cool to say that. It's really cool to say that. Cliff Leblinsky, all these other guys. It's cool to say that. But are you actually saying that and then still going to make the game the way you're going to make it? AKA David Vonderhaar. AKA the guy from Infinity Ward, whatever his name is. I don't even remember. His name's irrelevant. It's because his game is not that good. It's, you know, I mean, it's not that relevant. You know, you have managing people, community managers, people who develop the game. Their name is under the banner of the game, and their job, if it's under the banner of that name, like if you call yourself IW so and so or this and that, and your name is under that banner, and somebody is telling you, listen, this is the things that we're in the trenches testing your game out, and we're the consumers paying the bills every day, and we tell you what the game is like and what's going to be fun and how it is, and you block those people, you know instantaneously, don't even play the game anymore. Because if they're going to block you on constructive criticism, that means your input is irrelevant from the first place. So don't even bother. Don't even bother with these people. You know, if I developed Titanfall or if I developed Call of Duty, I would be playing every single day. My tweets would consist of this stuff every single day, and I would get feedback. I would fly people out like me and other people out to their studio and be like, yo, sit down for 2 weeks, play our game, tell us what you like and don't like about our game. That's what I would do. I would contact you no matter how much you shitted on me, because I would want you to be happy, you know, under certain situations. I mean, like, if you had a valid point, explain it to me. And then we would sit down and be like, yo, I would like to listen to what you have to say and explain it to me. You're not going to get that. And these people who left these other studios to make the other studios, yeah, let's see. Yeah, sure. Let's see. I want to see visual proof that you're bringing in people from the community, why you shut down the studios, and, you know, this whole new era of developers going indie and making games, and we gotta leave the toxic environment. It's so toxic because head studio guys are over 30 years old and they're making decisions like movies on video games. It's so good. Boo-hoo, we're leaving. You know what I mean? No, it's because you're arrogant. You're an arrogant developers. You're not even in touch with the people who are in the trenches playing your game. So just stop it. So anyways, going back to Titanfall, you know, I think it's going to be #1 on the Xbox One. There's tons of reasons. One, everybody is tired of Call of Duty. It's not because Call of Duty is a bad game. They're just tired of it. And when people are tired of it, you need something that that consists of freedom. And when you had David Vonderhaar come into the picture from Infinity Ward original from Weston Zampella, he made the game the way he wanted it to be made. And his ideas were heavily influenced by a few people, you know, that worked at Machinima Awards that changed his mind in a completely different direction. So they're listening to a small portion. I mean, that's why they're losing 7 million subscribers to their game, because they took away all the freedom in the game. You know, they're building the game around pro players, and pro players don't have fun playing this game. Pro players play 70 hours a week on a couple of maps. That's not fun. And when you try to please 500 out of 20 million in a community, that's what's gonna happen. Everyone's gonna play your game and it's not fun anymore. You take away all the freedom, you play a couple maps, it's boring. That's not gonna support the game. You know, they took a very bad turn on Call of Duty with David Vonderhaar and the Treyarch studio. From Infinity Ward, they completely lost their identity. They don't even know how to copy off of anybody. Titanfall is exactly what COD left off at Modern Warfare 2. And that has to do with freedom. When you play Titanfall, and if you never had a chance to play Titanfall, give yourself a couple days on Titanfall, and then go back and play Call of Duty, and tell me you still have the same freedom. What I mean by freedom is being able to move, get out of certain situations, get out, you know, more emphasized on your joystick skills. You know, that's the fun of the game, is the freedom to move. You can't do that Yes, I understand it's a military first-person shooter, but it's not. It's a Twitch shooter. It's not a serious first-person military shooter like Arma 3 or something like that. So it is possible to make the game have more fluidity. You know, that's my opinion, and that's the way it should be. To be honest with you, it should be a fact. So go back and play Titanfall and then play Ghost, and you tell me. So I believe that Call of Duty is going to be stomped on the Xbox One. It's going to be, I don't know about the Xbox 360. I'm sure it's because people who can't afford the Xbox One are going to feel like they're left out. So therefore, they're probably going to buy Titanfall. And yes, it'll probably get knocked out too, Call of Duty on the Xbox. And if they made it for the PS4, there would be no reason to have an Xbox One. Everybody would be on the PS4 playing Titanfall. But because Activision goes out of its way to make a bad version for the PS4, that's most likely what would happen with the Respawn game, because Microsoft's got their hands on this game, it's their exclusive, and they're not going to let the best version be on the PS4 when it's 1080p 60 frames per second. It's not going to happen. So you're going to have frame rate issues. It just ain't no way. So yes, I think Titanfall is a great game, and if you could afford the Xbox One and you want to have a freedom, one of the best first-person shooter out there, period. It's going to be the best first-person shooter out there. And I believe Last Stand Titanfall is the best game type in the game, because that's the name of the game, Titanfall. You know, and people are going to realize it. It's going to take a while to get there, but you're going to get it. Anyways, if you want to check out Fist 2, I'm going to do another commentary, and we're going to keep talking. And this is awesome talk with you guys. Love you. Until next time, peace. I'm out. Links description below.